Hey, how's it going, everyone? Just back in with another. This is a bit of a follow up to a hangout that I did last night, which was great. We got a lot of good discussions going and stuff with kind of the usual characters. ETT, LOP, myself, Flat Earth Boxer, and Awakened Pennsylvania was there for a little while, and it was a good discussion. And then somebody in the chat asked, made a question, knowing I think a little bit about my life, and I think what a lot of people are going through, right now, worldwide, not just in America, of course, but it's definitely hitting America, without a doubt. And this is the country that the Bible says will sit as a queen and see no sorrow. People are going to be eating and drinking and giving into marriage until Christ returns. And so that verse in Matthew 24 has to apply to America, because we're in the best position, worldwide, economically and geopolitically and all that, because we're the quote aggressor, and that's Bible prophecy. But we still have a bit of that, for sure, still, at least in the news and the propaganda. But it's hitting here, without a doubt, like just financial scarcity and food scarcity and everything. Okay. And so that's clear. So somebody was like, well, don't you have to endure till the end, to be saved? And that was their point. And then they're, I think, counterbalancing, my position of, what I'm planning, which at this point, I don't actually believe that, I'm going to do anything to myself. Like I firmly believe that the Bible is true. And then I firmly believe that, my God doesn't want that, for me. But again, I can't control that. That's already just something that I could never have imagined, that a flying saucer will take my body away. I'm not laughing, but it's like, it is like, I don't know how to explain that to people. How could I have ever thought that this would even be something I would talk about? Even like the flat earth, like, oh, wow. We're arguing with people whether a building moves. Like, who would have thought that we would have had to talk about that in our lifetime? Because that sounds just ridiculous just to say that. And so it's laughable in that way. It's like, it's outlandish, to me, that my life has come to this point and this is my last hope, and I'm thankful for that, and so no issues with that. But there's a good verse about that came to mind right now when I just said that, in Romans 8:20, that we were subject to all this by God. We know that now. Romans 8:20, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope. And so God is doing that. And so we wouldn't be involved in all these stupid discussions, unless God did that. You know what? Sign me up for the dumbest conversations ever. That would be great. I'll do that for every day for my whole life. The ball earth and all that kind of stuff. That's ridiculous. So that's what we know now. Okay, that God is behind all this. So I'm thankful that the Bible states that God is behind it. And so we're waiting to see if he's quote unquote real, and it's going to be validated in the sky. Revelation 1:7, all eyes will see him. So, but it's incredible. That this is my last option, so to speak, and I have no issues with that. It's absolutely incredible. But I want people to know that to those who endure until the end will be saved is already been determined. Okay, I don't think people really get it. Okay, and I don't know if they don't get it, or like they want me to go over it again. So I'll go over it here and just to make a video of it. So it's nothing's going to change. Okay, between now and whatever money that I have left, okay, in terms of me. And that group, whoever the elect are on the earth right now, they're tagged, okay? And they didn't tag themselves, okay? There's no barcode or whatever, like it was done by angels, okay? Just know that. And I believe it's already been done, because whether I'm involved or not, there's no way that they know less than I do. So I could be getting the crumbs that fall off the master's table, and I've done lessons on that, and I would be incredibly thankful for that. I'd eat those crumbs for eternity. But I know for a fact that they know as much as I do. They have to, okay? And I'm not going to be able to go and teach them things. Hey, you know what? Like two witnesses, now they're like, we already know that. Shut up. That's what they wouldn't say it that way. But no, like they would know as much as I do, okay? And they would be as fervent about the law as I am. And, I suspect a lot more, if I'm not one of them. So, and I'm fine with that, that's great. So I want people to know it's not going to change. Okay. If I win the lottery, okay, or something like it, that's what they mentioned. And it was a good point to think about. If I win the lottery, that doesn't change the day that the Most High has already set for when he's going to send his son to return. He's like, oh, one of them's got more money. Let him soak up the sun a little bit. We'll give it one more year. No, it's already set. Okay. And it's not going to change. And it's lock and key with the Most High. No one else knows. Okay. Because he sends the instructions. Okay. He doesn't consult somebody. Hey, what do you think? And how big should we make the earth? No, he's like, he made the earth. Okay. And the inhabitants thereof. So he didn't consult anybody. The Bible says in many, many places, he's a God alone. Okay. And so just be aware of that. And I want people to understand that I understand the sovereignty of the Most High. And it's very clear that a lot of people don't. Okay. And so understand it quickly. Okay. I would, because we know now the elect have obtained it. And so what did they obtain? They know that God's behind everything, every single thing. Okay. Every word that I'm allowed to speak everywhere is from God, whether it be good or evil or somewhere in between. So I know that. Do you know that? Okay, whoever was asking that. And so just know that, because that's what the Bible says everywhere. Revelation 4:11 is one that I quote a lot. But God has created all things for his pleasure. Okay, and so read that and understand that. And then I could find many, many verses on that, and it should be obvious at this point. Okay, the deceived and the deceiver are his. So God controls his entire left-hand side. It's like robotic arm. Okay, he controls everything that they say and what they're allowed to say and not allowed to say, because he's controlling the deception. And then so if he controls the deception, then he obviously controls who's not deceived, who's his elect in Revelation 7. So he controls everything. How much the deception is, when the people who are not deceived undo that deception, God controls that in Revelation 7. And it's prior to the wrath. So it's very deep into the end times. And so he's in control of every single thing. Okay. And so my bank account and all that does not matter. Okay. What I do value now, because now that I know that the earth is flat, stationary, I'm looking for a God. Okay, like everybody should have been doing, and maybe still is, and I found one, in the God of the Bible. And then now what I realize when I read the book on my own, that God values his laws, okay, above everything, okay, because that's the way he thinks. And so then when God puts his value of supreme importance, then he looks for people that value those laws as well. Christ says God's looking for people to worship him in spirit and in truth. And what's a form of worship? It's action, okay? And so that's what God's looking for, okay? And so that's where it's not even up to me, any of this kind of stuff. So if I am one of them, then it's not a matter of me scrounging to stay here longer. No, I will not do a single thing, fundamentally, first and foremost, if I don't want to do it, okay? If God's law is set up to do all these things, but I didn't feel genuinely compelled to do it in a sincere way, I wouldn't do it. I'd be like, no, I don't want to do that either, okay? But thankfully, all the God's laws that apply to us in these days, they all are applicable. But the ones that we're faced against to do this or do that, Leviticus 19:28 and then Job 9:24 and all the other ones. So I would resist those anyway. Very likely. I can't simulate it second life or third life or whatever, but they follow along with exactly what I was made, okay, by that God, of course. And so it's not even necessarily that deep, okay? But I cite them as reasons for resisting, maybe there's rewards for doing that, and then citing those laws to be like, no, I'll take those laws and then happily take death. And so that's why the Bible is not written for very many people, because you have to be incredibly stubborn to the point of death. And that's why I realize now that the Bible has to be delivered to people in a very strategic and careful way, because we're living in hell. And so if a person knows that and realizes that, and then also has a fervor for God's laws, they don't mix and match. They're directly opposing. And so you'll have to choose one or the other. And then there's countless examples in the Bible from beginning to end where the Israelites always choose death 10 out of 10 times. They don't miss, okay? The elect, that's what I'm talking about. The cream of the crop Israelites. There's tons of sellouts in Israel. The election have obtained it, but the rest were blinded. Not all Israel is of Israel. Okay, so there's plenty of actors. Okay, lots of them, maybe billions, who knows, hundreds of millions for sure. So that's what's going on. Okay, and so don't worry about me. That's what I highly recommend. I don't want you to take offense to this, but it may be offensive, but the way you people talk, you should not be worrying about what I'm doing in my life. Don't worry, because you people are completely lost. Quite a bit of you, because you're still asking silly questions this late in the game. No, it's that verse you're manipulating. Endure till the end to be saved does not mean commit a single sin to prolong your life beyond what resources that I have right now. If it's whatever resources I have, if I have to add $1 to that, but it requires me to sin, God's like, forget about that $1. Okay, no, don't do it. Then whatever happens, happens. Okay, let the chips fall as they may. And so that's what the Bible teaches from beginning to end. And I don't think a lot of people really get it. Okay, this book is not written for very many people. They're not written for acquiescers. Okay, yeah, I'll meet you halfway. No, they're like, get the hell away from me. Okay, that's what the people of the Bible are all about. Worship this God that I'm telling you, or get the hell away from me, or serve me and shut up. That's what the Bible is all about. The real Israelites, okay? The ones who've truly interacted with God. That's the way that they are. And now that I think more about it, that's the way that I was wired. A lot of us that join here on my channel, we're stubborn people, okay? Like a mule, like an ox, okay? No, we're not doing anything that anybody tells us to do. First of all, if it's not consistent with what we want and good for our body, and we just do, if we just don't genuinely want to do it, okay? I don't want to work in corporate America because it's a freaking plantation, okay? Just with a white shirt and a tie, okay? No, so hell no. And so there's nothing they could do to lure me in there even prior to this narrative, okay? When God's laws weren't, quote unquote, explicitly needed to be broken, okay? So that's already not even tempting, okay? Much less this, and then much less the ultimate cost potentially of bowing down to this is potentially your body and your soul, sores, and then being burned with fire. No, is that even like an option, dude? The way that I literally parallel that analogy is like, somebody says, yeah, you can come work in this whorehouse. This would be somebody, me, just some, random person coming to me saying, if you want to come and work in our whorehouse, we're going to inject you with like gonorrhea or something. And then you can come and become a prostitute here in our whorehouse. Like that's what it is. Okay. I want people to understand that that's what's being offered to me. And then so what would I do? I'll be like, get the hell away from me, you disgusting vermin. I don't even want to know that a person like that exists, much less take that stupid offer. Okay. Okay. That's why I know that Christ has to return on the order of minutes. Okay. Because this is not tempting. And it's not tempting even if we didn't even have the Bible in front of us, that if it didn't exist, because of the way we're wired. God made us stubborn, okay, and inquisitive. Hey, I don't know, maybe the earth is flat. I don't know. Like, then we look into it, okay? We didn't plan all this. And so I want people to really understand that before you come by my channel and start talking nonsense, okay? This is the theme of the Bible, and it's proof that you people don't read it, okay? That's very clear. And so all I can do is tell people what it says, okay? Because I read it, okay? And then it says, from beginning to end, that there's a group of people that are extremely stubborn about God's laws and more fundamentally worshiping God, just to put it in a more general sense. They're absolutely distracted by that. They don't care what's going on. Some Israelites do, the ones that are not truly of the elect, but they don't like, hey, what did that person do? What's going on with you? You just gossip, okay? They don't care, okay? They want this thing ended. Finish this thing, okay? And then they say that obviously with respect, to their God, but they're like, when's the kingdom being established? Hey, when's the kingdom being established? That's all the disciples kept saying. When is the kingdom being established? Okay. Because they don't want to be here and argue with people and then be persecuted for telling the truth. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. So no, we don't want that. We don't want the truth to be so novel that like your life has to be put down for it just to be able to say what your opinion is. Okay. So no, I'm not staying in a place where I'm not even allowed to speak my mind. With the truth community, even they get offended. Wait a minute, what? You want to take God's laws over your own life? Are you okay, TMoG? Let me pray for you. Good serpent's going to pray to white Jesus for me. No, you dummies need prayer, okay? You people are stupid. You people are totally lost. And so, no, I'm not staying. I don't feel clean staying in the system right now, today. Taking out my credit card and paying with whatever the hell is behind them, nothing, like fiat money. I don't even know what that is. And then the food that I eat, I don't know what's in it either. Okay, I eat at Chipotle a lot. I make jokes about that, but I don't know what kind of hormones. They say that there aren't any, but I'm sure that there are. I don't know what I'm eating. Okay. I mean, I avoid pork, but I still don't know what's in the brisket and like the chicken. Who knows? Okay, you think that they stopped doing that stuff with us? Are you kidding me? If they're treating us like that, what do you think they think about a cow and a chicken and all that? They don't care. Okay, are you joking? So who knows what they're doing to them? Okay, and we know what's going on even between man and animal. Okay, and that's gross, but whatever. Like we know what's going on. So that's the world that we live in. So I don't feel comfortable being here today. Okay, and so the fact that today exists is a gift in the sense that we can see God's narrative unfolding, but it also is like, why is this not ending? You know, because it's so ridiculous. And so the truthers are a bunch of sellouts. So what's up with that? And so this is not a safe place. Because there are truthers masquerading around as truthers, but they're actually effectively agents for the government. Because they want you to strategize how to stay here longer and break God's laws. I'm not doing it at all. Okay, not a single amount to go into a place that I already wouldn't want to go into anyway. Okay, so it's like it doesn't even make any sense. It's like there's already a massive chasm that I cannot traverse, and it's just getting wider and wider. And then you're asking me, hey, why don't you build a bridge and figure out? No, I'm not trying to meet a disgusting entity halfway. Why? I'm going the other way. Fast, okay? And I don't care what's on the other end because I'm like, well, at least it's not that. I'll take whatever's over there, even if it's nothing. I don't care. And so it's because I'm definitely not going over that way. And the thing is, I don't even have a choice because it's like somebody offering me like a venereal disease or something. It's like I don't want that. Okay, no, it's like and then just to be able to go and be a prostitute, you know, or something like that. No. Are you kidding me? That's exactly the way I view it. I want people to understand that. That's the quote proposition that's being offered to me in corporate America. And I can't push a button and change corporate America and make useful companies or find one that I've worked in enough of them. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Schlumberger, a smaller company called Ingenia Polymers, Amazon, Bed Bath & Beyond, Pico Pallet, and a company called Lean Drilling. So I've tried big, small, in between, whatever, all different industries. It's the same people, okay? It's like the same. It's like Americans don't change when you go to different parts of it. It's all just a bunch of people just a bunch of terrible actors at this point. So there's no cure to this, okay? And I'm fine with that. I have no issues. And so whether I had $1 in my bank account or I had $1 million, it doesn't change the fact that if I am one of that 144,000, I'm not going to die. And it doesn't matter, okay? And so I don't take comfort even a little bit that I have left. I don't want to use that, so to speak. I'm not relying on that, or I don't take comfort in that. And so that's the confidence that I have, and that's my mindset. Because we cannot complain to man. We know that now. Because God's behind the evil. Okay, how many verses do I have to pull out for people to know that God is doing this narrative and every narrative throughout human history? God put his own son on the cross. Okay, he didn't spare him, you know that. And so we believe that that's clearly for a righteous purpose, but we can't understand that either. But we know that all manners of evil, God is behind it. Christ said that right from his mouth, that the power came from above to do that. And so he corrected Pilate right in his tracks. His records player stopped. You know, you don't have power to do that. Are you kidding me? He basically was mocking him. No, you don't, you dummy. Did that person decide when he was born, okay, who his parents were and like all that kind of, are you kidding me? God elects all these leaders, okay, on the left-hand side and right-hand side, which is his elect. And so we didn't cast any votes. Do an audition. Hey, God, I'd like to audition for the elect. You know, what studio do I go to? Are you kidding me? That's not the way it works, okay? It doesn't even work like that when it's left-hand side, when they're actually actors, okay? So that's not the way it works on the right-hand side. So we know that, okay? So nothing's going to change. And so get that through your head. I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over again. If you bring that here, I'm just going to block you, Okay, because none of you dumbos read the Bible and understand what it says, which is obviously what it says, okay, everywhere. That if there is an option between next dollar or $2 or $3 or $1 million, a zillion Bitcoins, you have to go down that path, okay, to get that, okay? But the first step in that path is violating any one of God's laws, okay? And then Christ says we have to worship God exclusively, so that's essentially an infinite number of laws because we have to evaluate our thoughts, okay? Which can go in any direction, okay? So God's evaluating all of that as well, which is a way to view that is also your intentions, okay? So that's always being measured, okay? So there's essentially infinite number of God's laws because you can do anything, even if it looks righteous from the outside looking in, but if your heart was in the wrong place and you're doing it for attention and all that, then that's an evil thing. You're doing it for attention. Oh, look at me, I'm righteous and all that kind of stuff. God will be like, it's better that you didn't even do that, okay? And so that's the world, that's the God that we have looking down upon the world, and he's calculating all those things. So God's laws, essentially, there's an infinite number of them because we have to evaluate every single scenario and situation and our intent. And so even before the explicit ones, about Leviticus and, all the actual concrete laws, now we have to measure our heart and all those. And then all the other ones, just our decisions that we make day to day, how we interact with people and all that. So there's too many to number. So if anything, going down that road of even $1, anywhere a billion, zillion dollars, but that first step requires you to break God's laws, you're not allowed to go down that door. Okay, it doesn't matter. And so people will be like, well, I have no other option. You do actually have another option, according to the Bible, which you people clearly don't read or understand. And then that's what, as we know, okay, from the brothers in Maccabees, Eleazar, Christ himself, everybody, okay, there is another option, okay, and that's what we get from the beginning of the Bible to the end of it, where God's people, the cream of the crop Israelites, and the Israelites are the ones who the law was given to. God has an elect. If you word it this way, they're aware of the law and they're the most stubborn about it. That's how you're going to find them, okay? And so that's why I don't see that. I see a bunch of people, oh, no, don't worry, you'll figure it out. No, I'm not figuring a single thing out, okay? I know exactly what the playing field is. I know the truth community is corrupted, okay? So what are you talking about? Like, I wouldn't even want to get a job in the quote-unquote truth community because they're a bunch of retards. So how are you going to go into another group outside in the quote real world and work with them? What are they going to be like, okay? So think about that. I want people to really, really understand that. And if you take offense to that, then you're an idiot, okay? That's just what it is. You're just stupid, and you don't understand the Bible. And so you better hope it's not true then. Hope everyone's doing well. Bye.